Welcome to the Straight from the Heart show. I'm Utam Marmaraz. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are in the world. Today I've got an amazing guest, and he's one of my favorite young men, and his brother is the second one. And I'm so excited to introduce this guy today. His name is Cameron Dubé, and he's an entrepreneur. He's a filmmaker, a musician, a motivational speaker, a life coach, and author. What else is this young man doing? Do you see what I'm saying? He's a drummer. He's been in bands. He's the CEO. And he's just phenomenal, guys. And he's awesome. And I'm privileged. I'm honored to welcome Cameron. Cameron, welcome to my show, my friend.
Man, thank you so much for having me, man. I really appreciate everything you're doing with your podcast, spreading all the vibes all around. I'm really happy to be here.
Excellent. I love what you guys are doing. The way I managed to get in touch with you guys is when you launched your Motivation Mastermind. And that mastermind is just one amazing place to be on. If you guys don't know about the mastermind, you better check it out, because these young dudes here, they're going to take this personal development to a whole new level, guys. They're going to take it to a whole new level. So let's get going. Tell me a bit more about yourself and what you like doing and stuff like that.
Well, I grew up addicted to video games, so I didn't do too much as a kid. But I was in a band, so I was kind of safe. I stayed where I was. I didn't really do much, and on weekends I'd play gigs. Weekdays were just lazy, playing video games the entire time. And I guess throughout, I'm going to be honest, I did a presentation yesterday and I told the people how long I spent. I showed a really little screenshot of how long I've been playing just one of the games. They counted the amount of time you play, and it said 44 days and 3 hours spent playing just one of these games. And I was 12 at the time. That was by the time I was 12, I did all that. So obviously my spirit was aching to start doing things. I was sick of being lazy. So I started a YouTube channel. I started filmmaking. I started skating. I started, what else did I do? I learned how to build computers. I wanted to start doing things with my life. So I just kind of searched for things, and I found a really awesome, a great passion for filmmaking. I love it so much. It's one of my greatest passions. I love building computers. I love skateboarding, and I love playing music. But the reason the band wasn't fulfilling me so much was because me and my brother, we fought all the time. It was a really negative space, and the bass player just wanted to stay distant. He wanted to stay out of it. So, the band being a negative place made me want to go play even more video games and escape it even more, right? So through all of that, I was just sick of being lazy, and I found all these cool things. And funny thing is when I quit the band specifically because I found a book called Think and Grow Rich. And the reason I looked up this book, I wouldn't have found it if it wasn't for my brother saying, hey man, you got to slow down on your YouTube filmmaking thing because we're in a band. And that pushed me over the edge, because I found out what was making me happy. Video games weren't making me happy at the end of the day. I found out that, this YouTube thing is making me happy. So I don't want you to take it away from me, bro. Let me do what I want. And so I had to look up 4 words: how to be successful. I had to find a way to make this YouTube filmmaking thing work, because I was unhappy in the band. I was unhappy playing video games, and my brother wanted to take it away from me. So I had to find a way to make it work, because, my entire life I've been told by everybody, yeah, you guys are awesome. This YouTube thing, this band thing is going places. You're going to be a rock star. So, I thought that's my key to success. If I don't have that, then I'm not worthy of living. I'm living a mediocre life if I'm not in that band. But when I found Think and Grow Rich, it basically told me I can do anything. I can, as long as I'm passionate, I can make anything happen. I could have happiness. I could lose weight. I could be healthy. I could help people. I can reach millions of people if I wanted to, as long as I have that passion, that burning desire. And those are 2 words that they said in the book repeatedly: burning desire. And every time he said burning desire, I felt that I resonated with the message of, yeah, I have that burning desire. I really have that. And by searching up how to be successful, it opened doors, man. I found Tony Robbins, Brendan Burchard, Wayne Dyer, who wrote How to Win Friends and Influence People, Dale Carnegie. Yeah, I found you. I found all kinds of people all over the internet. My life changed completely. And me and my brother like separated for 6 months, and I showed him the book. He did his own research. I had the book and I did my own research, and I just found so many cool personal development gurus. And through 6 months of research, we get back together and we're both like personal development junkies. Like we're both into self-help like heavily. And we're just talking like back and forth about all the stuff we've learned. And then we start up Implicit. We're like, you know what? Why not? Let's think big here. Because you could be a YouTuber, but really you're just backpacking off of an already established corporation, YouTube, right? You could be a band, but you know, you'll be backpacking off of a record label. Why don't we just create an entertainment organization that has a record label, has a film production studio, has everything, and can also produce podcasts and books and all these things along with it, but also around a message that matters, you know, because there's a lot of movies, there's a lot of bands that are just there for the sake of being there. You know, there's a lot of romantic comedies just for the sake of being a romantic comedy. There's a lot of superhero films that are just for the sake of being superhero films. We wanted to make entertainment matter, like things that make you feel, you know? So with that idea, we met even more people. Like we started a documentary, we started a bunch of other projects, and then we started a podcast. We started actually doing our own personal. I was not expecting to be like a speaker, author, life coach. I was not like, this was not in my plan, but it ended up happening. And through that, we started the Motivation Mastermind group on Facebook. And I mean, doors keep opening every single day through that, right? So we met you, we met Berge, Frank, Shane Train, you know, all these people. And if it wasn't for that group, if it wasn't for the Miracle Morning group and certain Facebook groups, if it wasn't for Facebook, you know, it wouldn't have happened. So I'm really grateful to have met all these people. They really changed my life for sure.
Wow, what a phenomenal story. And I'm going to go back to your Think and Grow Rich, because you mentioned it quite a lot of times on here. And I know your story behind Think and Grow Rich because I've already interviewed your brother. So I would like you to explain what you did with the audio book that you had from YouTube. How long did it take you to listen to the whole Think and Grow Rich, and what you did? In what ways did you learn Think and Grow Rich?
Oh man, I was so into it. To be honest, I looked up how to be successful on YouTube, and I found The Magic of Believing. The only problem, it's a great book. The only problem is it's so small. It's only 50 minutes. And I wanted more. Like I was addicted. The second I got a little taste of personal development, I wanted more. And then I found Think and Grow Rich, and it was 10 hours long. A 10-hour and 50-minute audiobook. And I listened to the entire thing in like a night and a half. Like I locked myself in my bedroom with food and water and video games and coloring books and puzzles and whatever. And I just threw it on a radio and I just listened. I didn't even take notes. I just listened extensively, and breakthrough after the other. Like it just like things are firing off in my brain. I actually drew a picture too. I had a coloring book, and I colored a bear or something. Like it was like a bear sitting on a mountain or something. And I wrote down, that's when I had the breakthroughs, right when I was like finishing that color, that little picture. So I wrote down my breakthrough. I wrote down the date, and it's still sitting up on my wall at my brother's place. That every time I look at that, it just brings me back to that place where like, that's where it started. That's where it all started. Right. And so I listened to the entire thing. Like a lot of people would be like, 10 hours long? That's ridiculous. I won't even watch a 10-hour. Like it was more entertaining than any movie, any music album, any live artist, anything I've ever seen in my life, any podcast I've ever listened to. This book was more entertaining than all of it because I needed it the most. I truly believe that the universe brought me that book. If it wasn't for that book, I wouldn't be where I am today. But yeah, I just listened to it completely, right? And then that's when I quit the band. When I finished the book, I quit the band, and my brother hated me, right? And then there was two things, you know, finding the book was one thing. Knowledge is one thing. But the thing that really changed me, and like, because like knowledge is like the gasoline, you know, but you need that spark to like put it into action, to actually start doing things. And I got that spark in the form of like a car crash. But it was nothing fatal. I didn't get hurt, but it scared me so much. It showed me life is short. It showed me like any day now I could get in a car crash. Like It's unexpected. Nobody knows, right? So at that point, I took action. I took massive action. I changed my life on New Year's. It was on New Year's, like, ironically, right? A lot of people change their life on New Year's. I got in a car crash on New Year's. So it just changed 2015 for the rest of my life. And that was 2015. This is a while ago now, actually. So I sold my Xbox, which, like, if you knew me back then, selling my Xbox is like, who are you? You're a different person, aren't you? Like, I would not have sold my Xbox, man. But I sold my Xbox and I built a computer so I can start video editing and doing professional work on it. I got rid of my bed because I was like, you know what? Why do I need a bed? Like, I could sleep on the floor. And I got a desk. And I basically built an office in my room, slept under my desk for months, and I would just learn and work and learn and work and keep working and learning. And I was in school at the time, and I was just like, I nearly dropped out of school because I really didn't care about high school. I never cared about high school. I had so much belief in myself that I would drop out of school in a heartbeat. Like, I don't even care, like, you know? And I think the reason I have so much belief is because of how intensely my paradigm has shifted, you know, how intensely my belief system shifted. It went from, like, I only have this band, and other than this band, I'm useless, right? To I can do anything, right? So at that point, I was like, yeah, I'll drop out of high school. Yeah, I'll do this. I'll do that. I had intense confidence in myself because of the book. Funny thing is when I took all this action, I was having like a breakthrough every other day. And I would go up to my brother because I showed him the book too, right? So he was doing the same thing. And I was like, hey, man, what kind of breakthrough have you had lately? And we just like talked back and forth, like, what kind of breakthroughs have we had? Because, like, we're always learning. We found so many different YouTube channels. Tony Robbins was groundbreaking also. But yeah, Think and Grow Rich. I highly suggest the audiobook. Just Google it. If there's listeners here, like, just Google the audiobook, and you'll find it on YouTube, 10 hours long. Go for it. I listened to it, actually. Like, a lot of people are just like, dude, that's insane. But I listened to the entire 10-hour thing in one sitting when I was pushing snow. I had an 11-hour shift, and I listened to the entire thing from front to back. And after that night, I literally made the decision, like, I'm never going to work for anybody ever again. I was like, this is the last time. Like, I got this, man. I'm in high school. I have a little bit of time. I could still kind of bum off my parents for a bit and eventually start making my own income to the point where I don't need to work for anybody ever again. And that was quite the decision I made, dude. But if it wasn't for the book, it wouldn't have happened. So,
wow. This is why I love you so much. You've got such a big head on a young body. I would say also that Think and Grow Rich changed my life. My favorite book is the Bible, as I call it. I read every day. I read that book. Even if it's a page or half a page, I'm addicted. I'm absolutely addicted. But my journey was the reverse of yours. I did all the Tony Robbins, all the Wayne Dyers, all the Les Brown, and the last thing that I picked up was Think and Grow Rich. And it's funny how that book actually just clicked. Just like he says in the book, like Napoleon Hill says, you will find the message. You will find it in whatever chapter you're looking for. And a lot of people debate about this. What's the secret? What's the secret? What's the message? But it's a different message for different people at different levels of your life. And the level that you're at now, you probably resonate differently if you read the book. When I read the book now, it's just music to my ears. Before, it will be, oh, I need to put this in place. I need to put that step in place. I need to be persevering. And the burning desire is something that's stuck in my mind. It really, and this is what I use in my coaching with my clients. And I always say, you need to have that burning desire, because if it's not burning inside of you, there's no point. You're just going to be working like everybody else, 9 to 5, having your mundane job. So going from here, how do you live an amazing life? How would you say to somebody to live an amazing life?
I totally agree with what you just said. Is you need that burning desire, because nothing will change. Nothing will get better unless you're uncomfortable, unless you're a little bit under pressure, you know, because I'll tell you, like, I spent 44 days playing one of my games. I had like 50 different Xbox games. One of my games I spent over a month and a half. that's insane. Just sitting there staring at a screen. That's comfort. That's straight up like no worries in the world. I'm a kid. I could do what I want. But you got to be under pressure, because when I heard the burning desire, because I spent like 10 days of just like total confusion, because I was in the YouTube channel and I was in the band, and my brother told me to quit the YouTube channel. He's like, you can't be doing this when you're in the band. But the YouTube channel was like, that was what's given me the juice of life. Like I loved it so much. So I was so scared. I was extremely scared. And then, so when I Googled those 4 words and I heard burning desire in Think and Grow Rich, I was like, yes, that is me. Like I have that. And I think you need to cultivate it on a daily basis, because a lot of people, they kind of fall off track. You know, like they wake up in the morning and they forget why they're alive. They forget what they're doing with their life. You got to remind yourself every single day. You got to cultivate that. Like I meditate every day. I visualize every day. I do affirmations. I make sure that before I do anything, I put my day into context. You know, I'm living because of this. The reason I woke up this morning and actually stood up out of bed is because of this. And another thing that really bugs me is that we're conditioned to doubt ourselves and doubt our abilities and not think we can do much. See, the reason I truly believe the reason I was able to just have this breakthrough so easily was because I was always told, you're going to do big things. You're going to do all these things. Like, you're awesome, man. You're such a great drummer. You're going to go places. You're sweet, right? And I think, obviously, that was in the context of the band. But in my subconscious, all my subconscious heard was, you got this. You have potential. You're going places. You're doing all this stuff. So I feel like I was conditioned to believe in myself and believe in my abilities and know that, like, I'm going to do great things in my life. But most people, they're conditioned to go to college, to think small, to be a salary slave, to not really go against the grain. You know, they're conditioned to go with the grain and like with everybody, with society, whatever. And when I ask somebody, like a coaching client, and I'm just like, so tell me what you want to do with your life. Like, I don't know what I'm good at. I don't know if, like, what am I good at? They instantly think of what they're good at. It's like, no, don't think about what you're good at. What do you enjoy doing? And they still have trouble. So I have to put them in this context. I have to like completely break their pattern and say, yo, life's golden ticket, right? You have a genie in a lamp opportunity. You have one wish and it will 100% come true. No failure. You've got this. What career path or what life purpose, what would you do with your life? And then I get the answer. And I think a lot of people need to realize, like, Think and Grow Rich wasn't about the money. It wasn't about the keys to success. It wasn't about anything like that. It was about knowing for a fact I can do anything, if I have that burning desire. That's all it takes. Desire. That's the reason desire is chapter 1, right? Because desire that's all it takes. Obviously, you need to know what else after that. But if you don't have desire, you don't have anything. You don't have anything. So I get people to finally believe in themselves. Like, that's what Think and Grow Rich did for me. It told me I could be a race car driver. I could be an astronaut if I had the passion. I don't really have the passion for that stuff, so I'm not doing it. Right? I could own a bookstore if I wanted to, but I don't really have the passion for that. And most people are following a career path that they don't have the passion for. And I mean, look, I've experienced it firsthand. I was in a successful rock band. I was a rock star, right? But I didn't like it. I didn't have a passion for it. So it doesn't matter what you're doing. You could be a successful billionaire, but if you don't like what you're doing, then you've lost the game of life. A lot of great teachers, they all say the end game is happiness, right? That's what you need to go for, is happiness. And when I quit the band, I didn't quit a band. I went to happiness. I chose happiness over anything because I realized that's what life's about. Like, I don't care how much money I have. I don't care the amount of whatever, like the materialistic things. I don't care if people love me as long as I'm happy. Because honestly, guys, when I quit the band, my aunt was disappointed in me. My mom, my father, my brother, my bandmate, all of our fans, like everybody was disappointed in me. But because I was in this high, this like happiness, like I was just like high on life, I didn't care. I was like, I'm happy. I don't care what you guys think. Like, I understand life now. So Yeah, to live an amazing life, I'd definitely say like you've got to understand that you have unbelievable potential, but all it takes is that desire. So many people they have that burning desire, but it's like society's throwing water on it. You know, they're quenching the fire. They're making it small because they don't want that to go. You know, so yeah, that's all I have to say.
Wow. So I would take it that Burning Desire is probably your favorite chapter in the book. Would you say
Oh,
that?
absolutely,
Mine,
absolutely.
mine will be the masterminding, because for me, the reason I say that is what has changed my life is through masterminding. Because prior to me masterminding and having my mastermind, it was me on my own, and it was really difficult to launch what I wanted to launch. But once you have a mastermind and you've got all these different masterminds around you, and it's so phenomenal and it's so awesome to have around you, because it makes your life so much easier as well. And also you have to have the right mastermind around you. Don't get this twisted, because I've been on masterminds that actually makes me annoyed, because it's all sell, sell, sell. I've got I've got this product coming, I've got this sales funnel coming, I've got that coming. But being on the right mastermind, which is one of your ones, is a great mastermind, and I know this mastermind will go places. It's absolutely, absolutely phenomenal. So where do you see yourself in 5 years from now?
5 years, man. Crazy thing is 5 years ago I was 13 years old. So like 5 years for me is big right now, right? 5 years I'll be 20 something. Like I'm 18. Like 5 years is huge, right? So I don't really think a lot of 5 years. I usually think of like 1 or 2 years ahead of time. But I truly believe that in 5 years I will be obviously financially free. Like I'm in the next couple months I'll be looking forward to that. Um, I'll obviously also the company will be as big as I want it to be. And I want it to be huge, man. I want to reach so many people. And I will have made a lot of movies as well. In 5 years, man, it's unbelievable. I think about it every day. You know, I'm going to have the body I want. I'm going to be as healthy as I want. I'm going to be eating the foods I want, being at the places I want, being around the people I want. And that's what you guys need to think too, is because so many people don't think they can have that. But I truly believe I'm going to have all of that because like I'm putting in the time. Like I'm not going to lie. I think tomorrow is going to be my only break. Like I don't really take breaks. I wake up at 5 a.m. every morning and I go up until 9 o'clock p.m. and I go to sleep. Like I don't really take a lot of breaks. I'm doing what it takes. And one thing that really reassures me that I'm going to be there in 5 years is the fact that I know I deserve it. Because a lot of people, they don't think they deserve it, right? And if you just think of yourself like, if you were in a group of people, would you bet on yourself? Like your graduating class of high school as an example. If you were this person graduating high school right now and versus all your class, like would you bet on yourself or would you bet on somebody else to make their money? You know what I mean? So you have to realize like you have to deserve it 100%. Because like I said, before that car crash, before I actually started doing things, I didn't deserve it. Like I knew things, but I wasn't really doing anything to get there. So yeah, in 5 years, man, I'm excited. I'm excited. I will have met you. I will have met Shane Train, Frank Berge, all these people, man, in person. I really I mean, when it comes to the company, the possibilities are almost endless. Like we plan on doing a lot, and I also want to do like so much. Honestly, I could go on for hours. We plan on doing school tours, going to schools and stuff, high schools, elementary schools, whatever, with music and empowering entertainment and stuff. Uh, Events, summer camps, all these kind of things. Like we have like awesome plans, and the team is growing every single day. People are joining. The mastermind, motivation mastermind, will have exploded at that point, right? I'm really excited, man, because every day is a new opportunity, and life is a get to, not a got to. Most people think life is, oh, I gotta do this, I have to wake up. No, man, you get to wake up. Like you're lucky you woke up this morning. A lot of people die in their sleep, so.
Wake up with a purpose, man. Wake up with a purpose. I used to wait when it was Sunday nights before. It'd be, oh man, got to be up on Monday morning. Monday now is my favorite day because I get grinding. I plan my week ahead. I do everything. And out of what you just said just now, I want everybody to pick that out, because you said something valuable. You need to be worthy. You need to be worthy. You need to think that you deserve something. Because my own personal experience, I was afraid of success. I was afraid what my friends will think. I was afraid what my peers will think when I'm in the big house, the big car, and such, so on. And that was where I was going wrong, because I wasn't worthy of it, because I was scared of the successful life, and I was holding successful people on this pedestal, and I was here. So my subconscious was telling me that it's not reachable.
Yeah.
Successful, wealthy people have got this kind of, it all comes down to conditioning. And the next question I would like to ask now is about goal setting, because I spoke to you about your 5-year plan. So how do you set your goals? What barriers do you have, and what levels do you measure?
This is how I set goals. This is how I achieve goals, because I've achieved so many of my goals. Like, I have a whole book full of goals that I've achieved. And all I do is I adopt the habits of a person who has achieved that goal. So if I wanted to lose weight, I wouldn't act like a fat guy. I wouldn't have the habits of a fat guy. I would adopt the habits of a healthy person today. That's what goals are. Like, if you want to be a millionaire, act like a millionaire right now. Because Jim Rohn blew my mind with this quote. He said, the level of your success seldom exceeds the level of your personal development. And success is something you attract by the person you become. So if you just become that person right now, success is on its way, man. Like, it's coming. You just have to be that person right now. So when I set goals, like, I wanted to build a computer like really badly. I was in high school. I didn't have a lot of money. I didn't know how I was going to get the money, but I wanted it really bad. And I was like, what does it take? Like, what kind of person do I have to be to make that money? So I started waking up earlier. I did a good morning ritual. I worked so hard. Like, even in school, I'd be on my phone trying to find ways to make money, find clients for videos and stuff, like trying, So I did anything I could. I called some people, asked if I could borrow some money. Like, I did so much. And I got the computer within like a month, right? And yeah, you got to be that person today. I'm trying to think of another goal that I've achieved. When it comes to Implicit as a whole, if you want to start a business or a company that's even mildly successful, you have to be that kind of person who runs a business. Like, I don't think Steve Jobs or, Mark Zuckerberg, these like billionaire CEOs, I don't think they sit around all day. Like, they have a set of habits that they do. And that's what I love about Habits of Highly Successful People, books like Think and Grow Rich. They basically give you straight up, like, these are what these people do. And if you become that person, success is something you attract by the person you become. So it's on its way once you become that person. That's basically how I set my goals.
Excellent. That's really, really good advice. And the problem with a lot of people as well, with what we'll call the majority of the masses, when they see successful people that are living the life, they see in the limelight, but they don't see what I call the nitty gritty. You would know the behind the scene work that we do, man. When I first did my first ever podcast, I didn't have anything, my brother. I had my laptop, I had my phone, and I put it there, and I filmed it. You should watch that on YouTube, actually. It's with Jovan Langford. And I was so lucky. I don't like using the word lucky. I'll say fortunate, but it was organized planning that met the opportunity that I got Jovan Langford as my first guest. I was at an event and I saw him, but people were too scared by his popularity to go and talk to the guy. He was sitting at the back of the room. I thought, you know what? This is an opportunity for me. Nobody wants to talk to this guy. What have I got to worry about? He brushes his teeth just like me. He puts his clothes on just like me. So I went up to him. I spent the whole day with somebody like him. He's 21 years old, but his knowledge, what he's doing around the world is just phenomenal. And you just have to go for it, guys, because what you see successful people doing, you see what's happening on the outside. You're not seeing the people like myself. I belong to the 5 a.m. club. You belong to the 5 a.m. club. They don't see this hard work. They don't see the 2 hours that you're sleeping, getting up to go to a meeting with a client, trying to get this record. And guys, this is how success is. Success is not overnight. Success is hard work. There is no shortcut. Like he said, it's the burning desires, the gasoline. I like to call it, you've got the vehicle, but you need to invest in the driver. You could have the best Ferrari in the world, but you're not a good driver. You're not going to give that car the full optimums, pushing it to the speeds to handle it like a racing driver. So you need to invest in yourself. What's the best way? Is to invest in yourself, because you're the machine. Like Tony Robbins says, I built this motherfucking machine. That's what he says. I built this machine, and I've built my machine as well. And I know you building your machines. And guys, so we're running out of time for the show. As you know, it's a half an hour show. So I'm just going to do a quick one. Cameron, 3 things that can change somebody's life right now, my brother.
Oh, man. Okay. One thing is figure out what you want and don't cloak it in doubt and fear. Try to eliminate the doubt and fear, because we're conditioned to think that way, and it's awful. I mean, in order to do that, maybe look for books like Think and Grow Rich that have showed you over thousands of people, of examples of people who have done the same thing. We're all human beings. You know, we all have the same nervous system, and, you know, we all brush our teeth the same way. There's no difference. The only difference is they believe in themselves. So you gotta find out what you want and believe in yourself. What else, man? I would say become that person today. Because a lot of people are like, oh, once I'm successful, then I will start waking up at 5 a.m. You know, once I'm successful, then I'll start, you know, making calls, teaming up with people. Like, dude, you have to do that today. And that's huge, you know, because everybody knows the vegetables are healthy. Everybody knows that working out is good for you. There's nobody who doesn't know. If you don't know that, then everybody knows that. And I even asked it yesterday. I had everybody raise their hand, because everybody rose their hand. Everybody knows that eating vegetables are healthy and working out helps you lose weight. But there are 2 billion people obese on the planet. You know, so knowledge is not enough. You have to be that person today. The groundbreaking thing for me when I was overweight is I just thought in my mind, if you want to lose weight, you have to be a healthy person today. That's all it is, right? So know what you want, have that burning desire for it, and try to eliminate doubt and fear, because those are 2 things that just put out your fire. Be that person today, and surround yourself with people who bring you up. Like you, Tim, man, you bring me up, because like you're doing a podcast, you're doing things, you're taking action, and that just rubs off on me naturally. And seeing, you know, Frank and Shane go live every single day, that rubs off on me naturally. Same thing with Barrage. Barrage works out every day. If it wasn't for Barrage working out every day, I wouldn't be working out every day. So you got to surround yourself with those people, man, a mastermind or whatever it takes. Those are probably my 3 things right off the bat.
Wow, guys, this young man, he's dropped so many things in here. He's talked about the power of modeling. He's talking about daily rituals. He's giving you 3 tips right now. Have the burning desire. Become that person. Bob Proctor, one of my first ever mentors, says, act like that person you want to be. You will become that person. And thirdly, surround yourself with the like-minded people. And I will second that. I will third that, because once you're around these kind of people, you're going to naturally be you're going to be copying what they're doing. Believe me, because Jim Rohn says you become the average of the 5 people you spend time with. One thing extra there is, I just named off like 4 people that I've never met in person. That is the best part. If your family is negative and you have to live with them, go on your phone, go on the internet, like surround yourself with people online, and they will still change your life. 100%. I know we're running out of time. One thing I've been intrigued by you and your brother, and that's the connection that I have. What crystals have you got around your neck, my friend?
Oh man, do I have them on me? Oh, mine are upstairs right now. Oh, that's awesome. Wow.
So my one is, I've got my Mephis, I've got my Tiger Eye, my Bloodstone, I've got my Black Tourmaline, and what's this one here? This one is the Labradorite, actually. Love it. I'm addicted to them, man. They've changed my life. They've changed my vibrations. They don't let me get negative anymore. Whether it is that or not, it's serving me well. It is serving me well. And I used to be in a really negative environment before, and I had to find a way of getting out there. And guys, I want you guys to know these things work. If it's not working, it will work on a subconscious level. Do you agree?
Oh, absolutely, man. Absolutely.
Cameron, you've been phenomenal. You've been an amazing guest. How do people get in touch with you? How do they follow you and basically just know who you are?
Well, I'm on Facebook most of the time, not going to lie. Facebook.com/CamMoron123. It's my old childhood name. Cam Moron. So it's like Cameron, but CA Moron 123. And if you want to check me out on Instagram, same thing, Cam Moron 123. Snapchat, Cam Moron 123. I go live on Facebook through my Implicit Empowerment page. So it's called Implicit Empowerment, and that's where we go live every single day. Also, just join the Motivation Mastermind if you haven't already. That place is amazing, and I go live there a lot too. So that's how you can connect with me. Tam, man, you have been so awesome, and I appreciate you so much. And your transformation has inspired me like so much, really. And I appreciate everything you're doing. So
Thank you so much, Cameron. I appreciate you. I appreciate your brother. I appreciate that whole mastermind. Even though we've got such a big mastermind, but you know the little mastermind, the 10 people, you know who they are. And
yeah,
I'm so grateful. I'm so fortunate. I'm so blessed to have you guys in my life. And I was a late starter. I've had a really good life. I'm not going to lie. Later on in my adult life, I was traveling the world, but I was in an unhappy marriage. But guys, I want to tell you, it's never too late to start. It's better to start than to never start. So just do that. I'm going to sign out from straight from the heart. I'm Yutam Almaraz. As always, I tell you guys, live well with one another, because if we don't, what is the point? Thank you.